Thank you, Mr. Chair, members, for the opportunity to present 2632, the California Mandela Act on solitary confinement. Despite the volumes of research that show how solitary confinement causes deep psychological and physical harm, it remains common in jails, prisons, and detention facilities across California. In fact, the current consensus among mental health experts, human rights organizations, and the United Nations is that prolonged solitary confinement amounts to torture. In 2016, the National Commission on Correctional Health Care stated that a period of confinement beyond 15 consecutive days is inhumane, degrading treatment, and harmful to an individual's health. The lack of human contact and endless monotony causes deep depression, paranoia, and some even suffer hallucinations. Others experience large fluctuations in weight and chronic pain. And due to its extremely restrictive conditions, chronic health conditions either go untreated or are mistreated. AB 2632 provides a clear definition of what constitutes solitary confinement across all facilities in California and imposes limits on how it can be used. Additionally, this bill will prohibit the use of solitary confinement for vulnerable populations such as a pregnant woman and those with serious mental and physical disabilities. To state the obvious, people who need specialized care should not be locked up in a room the size of a king-size bed and without access to the services they need. AB 2632 also provides important protections for those placed in solitary confinement. As an example, current regulations allow the use of food and nutrition as an additional lever of punishment for confined individuals. This bill disallows that. Many times we like to boast that as California goes, so goes the nation. But we are behind in setting clear standards on the use of solitary confinement. Several states, including New York and Colorado, have already taken this critical step. California must join these states and the international community to set clear standards and limits on the use of solitary confinement. This begins by recognizing that prolonged solitary confinement is torture and setting uniform and consistent limits on how solitary confinement is used. Here with me to testify in support of AB 2632 is Sewing Ban with Disability Rights California and Vanessa Ramos, who will speak on the impact solitary confinement has had on her life. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Ms. Ramos, you have 2 minutes.
Hi. Before I start, I have disabilities, so I may need extra time, but we timed it, and I think we got it down. So, okay, my time starts now, please. Good afternoon now, Chair and committee members, and Member Holden for bringing the bill forward. Thank you, Franklin. My name is Vanessa Ramos. I proudly serve on Disability Rights California's public policy team. And these are some of the reasons I urge your yes vote for AB 2632. At 20, while most youths are in college, I was met by a failed county mental health system. To survive being unhoused and untreated, I participated in sex work, sold drugs, and stole cars. Life became even more horrendous after I gave birth. I was sentenced to 1.5 years in the county jail, where I spent time in solitary confinement while experiencing postpartum depression, the onset of my disabling conditions, and substance use withdrawal, while being shackled and leg cuffed to and from a solitary confinement cell. Without medical and mental health services, I kept my mind busy by using a string of my uniform to thread my eyebrows, for which I was punished with longer stays in solitary confinement for destroying property. I was further traumatized by being moved from isolation to the chaos of general jail population. The anxiety of not knowing where or how my baby was doing created feelings of rage and triggered a need to dissociate. I was caught in this terrible and inhumane cycle. As a person with a serious mental health disability, my experience is not unique. Research shows that people with mental health disabilities are 10 times more likely to be incarcerated than they are hospitalized in the U.S., and more than 70% of people in American jails and prisons have at least one disability. Not only is this a carceral issue, but this is a racial justice issue as well because it overwhelmingly affects Black and brown people. Effective evidence-based restorative justice programming that can be used as an alternative to solitary confinement can include peer-led yoga, mindfulness, and nonviolent communication. If we are serious about rehabilitation, we will get serious about the negative effects of solitary confinement, which the National Commission on Correctional Health Care describes as inhumane, degrading treatment, and harmful to individuals' health. For all these reasons, I urge your yes vote for AB 2632. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony.